Thank you for listening to the Following Films podcast. Today I'm joined by legendary actor Erik Estrada to discuss the time he pulled a knife on Pat Boone, his work on Tony Hawk's Destroying America, and his work on the Amazon hit series Fallout. This interview was recorded at the Tucson Comic-Con. Today's episode of the Following Films podcast is brought to you by Google Workspace. We keep things running smoothly and efficiently at Following Films with the convenience of cloud-based Google Workspace programs. Google Docs lets you work and save on Google Drive. Hangouts lets you video chat. Gmail gives you a professional email, and Calendar lets you organize from anywhere and at any time. You should try it and see how it can help you and your business. Google Workspace is offering a 14-day trial, and if you sign up using my link, I can give you a discount, and it helps to support the show. Check the show notes for a direct link. Now on to my conversation with Erik. Big thanks to the folks at Tucson Comic-Con for setting up this interview. Hope you enjoy the show. Thanks. So last night I watched Crossing the Switchblade.
Yeah.
And then I watched Fallout. The idea being I like to, when I work interviewing someone like you, I want to see something very early and something very late, and to see your progression between those particular two pieces as an actor is really incredible. So
that was a trip.
What did you think when you first did Cross and Switchblade and you see that MGM logo?
Well, I didn't care about the logo or anything.
No?
All I cared about was this was my first movie that I wanted, because I wanted to prove to my mom that I don't need to be a New York City cop right now. I want to be an actor. No! I said, Ma, I got to give it a shot. If I can make money in this business, I will have you living on Central Park South, overlooking Central Park, Tavern on the Green, the whole thing. Thank God Chips allowed that for me, all right? But she had to get her 3 weeks of crying. And I auditioned for this movie. Don Murray was the actor that directed it. Pat Boone played the Cross, I played the Switchblade. The guy that I played, Nicky Cruz, is today still preaching.
Oh, really?
He was the toughest, baddest ass warlord of the toughest gang at the time in the streets of New York, which was called the Mau Maus. The difference between gangs then and gangs now are drug traffickers, pedophiles, and the whole thing, children, all that.
Right.
Back in the day, when you were in a gang, everything was with your fists, a stick, a bat. My favorite weapon was the car antenna. You just rip them off and open them, start smacking people left and right. Okay? That was my favorite, especially if you have four guys that want to kick your butt. So this guy, Nicky Cruz, was a badass, and Pat Boone played David Reverend Wilkerson out of Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania, came to New York because he said God talked to him while he was in his barn, tending to the chickens and stuff. God said, go to New York and help those kids. And he came. He started Teen Challenge. By the time he was done, he had his mission on one of those Broadway theaters every Sunday services. And he got to Nicky Cruz, who's today an ordained minister. So I wanted this part. And all the auditions were 6, and they were all improvisation. And I was up against the kid that was in Up the Down Staircase with Sandy Dennis. Beautiful, Italian-looking guy, tall, gorgeous, right?
Yeah.
And I said, oh, shit, I got nothing but spit. That's all I got, and I want it. So on the 6th callback, they were all improvisations. Every time I went in, he would give me an assignment. I would go on stage. There'd be other kids from Juilliard,
of course,
all these other schools. All I had was spit. So I went to 42nd Street because I knew on the 6th callback, Pat Boone was going to be there, and they were going to do comparison and
kind of like their chemistry,
kind of thing. How the chemistry was. And I said, well, this guy's already got a movie. Yeah. I got nothing. All I got is one. So I went to 42nd Street and I bought a switchblade over the counter, put it in my back pocket, walked into my audition. Nobody knew I had a real switchblade in my back pocket. And Don Murray says to me, okay, there were like 12 kids on stage, table. And he says, Okay, that's your world. That's your gang. Decide what you're going to do for the night with the gang, and then there'll be a knock at the door, which I assume was going to be Pat Boone.
Right.
I said, okay. So I go up there. First thing I do is I grab a pretty girl and toss her across the room. And then I sit down, like I take the chair because I saw it in a movie, and I thought it was the coolest look. All right, listen up. I mean, because I saw this.
Yeah, of course.
It was a great look. Hey. So I'm saying, all right, listen up. This is what we're going to do tonight. I want to go to the movies. And nobody's paying attention to me.
Yeah.
All these little yuppies and puppies and whatever the fuck they were. So I started dropping the F-bomb. I'm still raw. You know, I haven't been to AMDA, American Music and Dramatic Academy yet. And I had to work as a waiter to pay for that. But I was still raw, just coming off the street, turning 19. And I said, motherfuckers. And they go, you know. I said, this is what we're doing tonight. I want to go to the movies. I want ice cream. And afterwards, I want to get some pizza. And so we're going to go to my piggy banks and get some change. And one kid goes, piggy banks? What do you mean? It's not. I said, the phone booths and parking meters, that's where I get my allowance from. Because back then you only had a crowbar and run, you know? I mean, I'm just saying, that's what I saw.
Right. Nothing you did.
Nothing I did. And then we're going to get some ice cream. We're going to have a good time. And then at the door, I said, you, go get the door. Get the fucking door. I had to scare the shit out of these little kids. So he gets the door, opens the door, and Pat Boone is standing in the doorway, right?
Right.
And he goes, is Nicky here? I have a message for him. He's playing the pastor. So the kid turns around and looks at the table, probably assuming that I'm Nicky. So I just go like that and look him up and down. And then, is Nicky here? I have a message to give him. So I get up, and to get everybody's attention out there, the casting directors, and then I take the chair and I throw it across the stage. So the chair is, so you know now everybody's looking at me.
Yeah.
Really looking. So I walk up to the doorway. Pat Boone is there, and I look at him like this, and I wolf him, which what we used to do before we fought somebody. You stand there and you just, you think all these stuff, nasty stuff.
Yeah.
So I look at him, he says, are you Nicky? He says to me, are you Nicky? I have a message for you. And I go. And he says, Jesus loves you. So now I get like really furious, but I don't say anything. I start gritting my teeth. So you can see his muscles go,
Yeah.
You know? That was a good look.
No, that's good.
So I grab him by the lapels. I bring him up against the wall. And I press my hand and I go with the switchblade. And back there, Don Murray goes, stop, scene over! Scene over! I brought a real knife to it.
So you pulled a legitimate knife on Pat Boone.
I did. I did. And I got the part. And I made $800 a week for 8 weeks, man.
That was a lot of money back then. 1970? That's
$800 a week I was getting.
How much was your apartment back then, to put it in perspective?
My apartment?
Yeah.
We lived in the projects in Harlem.
Okay, fair enough.
Welfare. I grew up in government. I grew up in public housing. And my goal was to have my mother live like a queen. Because when I told her that I didn't want to be a cop anymore at 17, because the reason I wanted to be a cop was because at the age of 4, she fired my dad. He was stuck on the needle. And then she started dating a cop. And that's where my love for law enforcement came from. This guy, Pete Panos. And I had to make a deal with her. I said, look, Ma, if I can't make any money in this acting thing, I'll come back at 30 and I'll go to the academy. 32 years old is the cutoff date. So I gave myself a window.
Yeah, it's a good window.
I give myself a 2-year window in case. No, Ma, I'm only 30. You know, I got to 32. Let me keep trying. But at 27, I got the role of playing a cop.
And that changed your life.
Well, it changed my mother's life.
Well, yeah, true.
Man, I had a living on Central Park West, overlooking Central Park, for 32 years.
That's
I
amazing.
accomplished what I wanted to do for my mom. I wanted to live, because she was my girl. You know?
Yeah.
She was my main squeeze. Anyway, so I did it. But then again, 15 years, 16 years ago, I got the itch about my first career choice.
Yeah.
So I'm a deputy sheriff now.
That's right.
Yeah.
How do you like that? How does
I love it.
After it's kind of coming full circle, isn't it?
Yeah. It's, 4 years old, want to be a cop. Then I went at 17, want to be an actor. Then I play a cop as an actor. And now in real life, I'm a deputy sheriff. And I'm an ICAC investigator in the state of Virginia.
That's great.
Internet Crimes Against Children, it's ICAC.
That's incredibly important
I
work.
pop those guys
Good.
off the internet. They want to get into my 13-year-old panties because they think I'm Kimmy, 13 and a half.
Right.
But once I tell them my age, they don't split. I know they're going to bite.
Yeah.
And once they cross the line, gives me probable cause, I can go get them.
Get them, be done.
That's the way you do it.
It's amazing. That's got to be pretty fulfilling work, I would imagine.
Yeah, makes me happy. It takes a bit of effort to control myself when I confront you, because I want to kick you in the face.
Of course, how can
and
you not?
stomp your throat out, but you can't,
Well, it's to put yourself in a situation that you're dealing with that kind of darkness on a regular basis. It has to take a emotional, psychic sort of.
Well, yeah,
toll.
it does. Every 6 months or so, I got to sit with a psychiatrist
Right.
so he can clean me out. He can drain me, drain the pus out of me.
Well, I know we're over the time
Yeah,
that
go
you've
ahead.
allotted, but
Well, I took too long.
I got to ask you one.
Once I get on a roll,
No, it
can't
is
stop.
amazing. I got two things I got to ask you about.
What?
I don't know how often people bring this up, but destroying America.
Oh, that was fun.
It's
The only reason
it's the way you mess with your image in it. I love it. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. Being an actor is just a form of making money for me. But the celebrity part, that's for doing something good. Use it to do something good. To bring attention to DARE. I represented DARE for 7 years. I had the first Make-A-Wish child. I was into everything.
Right.
I used celebrity for that. That's what it's for. Not to be a dickhead. Use it to bring attention to something that's needed over here.
Right.
I did the America thing because my two boys were skateboarders. And I said, well, I'm going to get a hold of Tony and we're going to go to his warehouse and we're going to raid his warehouse.
And this is Tony Hawk that you're referring to.
Yeah.
So you have kids that are in skateboarding and they're able to just say, I can lean into that. I can make something happen here. Be a cool dad for a second.
I did make it happen. I took them to his warehouse in Irving or Irvine. And I said, knock yourself out, boys, whatever you want, take it. And they did. I worked that out $5,000 worth of stuff. and what I did was I said, take as many skateboards as you want, how many wheels, how many this, how many that, how many this and that. And the leftovers, give them to me. I'm going to go sell them to some store and we'll split it. And I split the money with them, $1,000 a piece. And they were only 9 and 10.
Did
and with $1,000, they go, oh, pop!
Did they follow that up, continue to have a love for skateboarding?
After that, snowboarding.
Snowboarding? Okay.
And then one of them became a pole vaulter for USC, a high-end pole vaulter for USC.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's why I did that, for that connection for my kids.
That's great.
What's the second question?
The other, Fallout.
Fallout, I loved it.
The opening of that is it's a movie unto itself.
Oh, yeah.
You could spin off.
My scene was...
It's short, but
it took 3... No, it was longer. It was a lot longer.
Okay.
We had a scene outside before we went into the house where we unloaded all the shells and things. And I talked to my kid about, being a man, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they cut that out and got right into the gravy of the thing. And that's okay. I'm waiting for the revenge scene. where I tried to kill him because he killed two of my kids.
But we don't. Yeah, it's left in a place where that's
it is.
follow-up.
What happened with that was I was doing a Comic-Con and a car show one Saturday. The next day was around the country. I work every week.
Yeah.
Every weekend I'm somewhere. That's all I know. My first job was selling snow cones at the age of 5. That's all I know.
You've been working
how to get
ever
a nickel.
since.
Go get that nickel for Mom. So in the middle, the director was a big fan.
Okay.
And he was comparing my scene with the one that, what's it?
It's got to be Tarantino and Inglourious Bastard. It's Christoph Waltz.
What?
I thought of Christoph Waltz in Inglourious Bastards.
No,
what I was thinking.
The director thought of Eli Wallach in Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah.
Or one of those scenes.
Right.
And he thought of that character, and he thought of me for that part.
Oh, that's interesting.
And that's how I got the part. I never auditioned or anything. They just called them and say, "You're interested?" Fuck yeah. Let's do it.
And it's great, though. It's
life. This is life. I'm 76 years old, and I don't know how I got here. In 3 years, I'm going to be 80.
Well, I'll be 50 next year.
Okay, buddy.
So that's the first one that you feel that way. That you're like,
don't forget to apply for Medicare, 64, and Social Security.
Done. We'll do. We'll do. Eric,
I could go for hours with you, but
I know. Thank you so much.
I gotta get the rent.
I appreciate. Go get the rent. I'm not making it.
Time enough to figure you out. Time enough to write this down. Wish me luck, give me hope. So I fall one more time, and I'll say I can't save you. Fell down into the bathroom. Fade out into the background. Get up and walk down again. So I My boy's crack.